Okay, hi guys. Welcome to a webinar put on by myfxedge.com, FxEdge. I, of course, am Marcello Ducil. And really, guys, welcome. I'm letting you into my vault, if you will. We've got plenty of strategies in our vault that we pull out occasionally for our traders. We pulled out the STP first. That was in 2009. That was our debut with the IBO and the IBO robot. Later on, we pulled out the for you guys. We pulled out the triple threat. We actually have previewed this IBO reversal candle pro before. We actually pulled out the weekend warrior just recently. Looking forward to talking to you guys more about what we've been doing and how we've been doing it. But there are a lot of you on this call. Actually, some of you have been turned away. Actually, a lot of you have been turned away. We actually had a much bigger response than we had anticipated. That's great. And so this will be available by recording for those of you who have not been able to watch it. Let me tell you about myself really quickly. For those of you who don't know me, I'm an attorney in the state of Florida, business owner, highly successful in investments. Many of you have seen this before. Full-time Forex trader since 2006. Worked in the field of Forex strategy development and automation. Worked in joint projects with other retail strategy developers, resulting in highly profitable and reliable trading programs. And I established www.myfxedge.com, which we have had substantial success with, as we've gone on with time. With me today will be my buddy Scott, who does a lot of the work with me. He's one of my proteges, a very good friend of mine. He's also one of our project managers in this whole deal, and he's actually a very big proponent of what I'm going to show you tonight, which is another one of our trades. But before I even get to that, we're going to talk about some important things that you should know before you even consider looking at any strategy. I want to give you some good information, and so I'm going to get right into it. But first, let me introduce Scott. Scott, are you there?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, great.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, awesome. Can everyone hear him, by the way? Shoot me a message. Let me know that you can hear us just fine. Okay,
yeah,
great.
I think this was one of the first projects I worked on, wasn't it?
It is. It is actually one of the first projects that we worked on together. I know you guys aren't really interested in our pedigree at all, but I gave you a little bit about my pedigree. We're going to get right into it, but I got to tell you a little bit about Scott for those of you who don't know Scott. Many of you do know Scott. You've heard him in our Weekend Warrior live trading sessions. You've seen him on when we first came out with the triple threat. you know exactly who this guy is, and he is a very, very gifted trader. Many of you have seen him before. You know, he works with he has worked in the past in a live trading room, which means that he traded over, you know, a large number of traders, you know, doing day trading and that sort of thing. I'll actually let him introduce himself a little bit farther. Is there anything else you want to say about yourself, Scott?
Boy, I've been trading for about 20 years and just been full-time trading for about 3. You know, before that, hey, I'm an engineer. So for all the techies out there, you can do it.
Absolutely. And actually, because of his engineering background and because of his attention to detail, we actually make a pretty good team, along with the 10 other guys that we have a part of our research and development team, pretty much full time running this thing and developing new strategies that we do have in a vault. So I want to talk to you before I get into everything else. I mean, I know there are a lot of guys out here. We do have a lot of people in here who do know who we are. But for those of you who don't have a strategy with us, who have not been able to see what we've been able to produce, we're going to talk about it. You're here not to hear us talk about ourselves. You're here to make real money in the Forex month after month with less stress. That's what it's about. And that's precisely, you know, even one of the reasons that Scott and I came together is because he was already a profitable trader, and but he was putting in the late night hours in, you know, in the trading rooms and putting in the late night hours in his own trading. So he had to do the European session and had to do the New York session. Wasn't much time for living. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, hey, that's right. I mean, I was, you know, trading full time for a living, and I did run a day trading, you know, room that was open to the public as well, as long as they paid. But yeah, I ran the London session and New York session. So between them, I was at at least 10 hours a day. And you know, I remember when I met you, Marcello, you said, hey, you know, you're doing a good job, Scott. You're profitable, but how'd you like to work a lot less and make even more? And then that's been the case.
That's it.
You know, now it's, in fact, been day trading a little bit in the last few days and enjoying it, but I'm enjoying it because I normally don't do it. I normally, you know, put the robots on and that we've developed and worked on and let them run.
That's it. That's it. And that's basically our style of trading. Now, you know, we don't generally just do robots, guys. We actually do strategies, and what we decided to do is make it a full deal. I mean, for me personally, after I developed, you know, really profitable systems, the issue was consistency. How am I going to be able to trade this thing consistently? I mean, you go to sleep, you fall asleep one night, you wake up, and you were supposed to take a trade, and you weren't able to take it because you fell asleep. Or something important comes up, and you either can't do that important thing, or you end up missing the trade. It's one or the other. In the beginning, I was traveling back and forth. I'm in Europe right now, guys, but I was traveling back and forth. I'm in France now, but I was traveling back and forth between my place in Miami to my place in Madrid, and you know, even getting on that plane, knowing I had a trade on in volatile moments, I was antsy. Do I take the trade off? Do I leave it on? So that's what the automation was about. It wasn't about, you know, a black box system. That's what we don't do black box here. We could, and probably, you know, it's probably a good idea so we can keep our strategies to ourselves. But what we do is we give you the strategy, we give you the way to trade it. This is how we trade. We know the strategies, we know how they work, and then also we give you the automation to make sure that you execute properly and that you also, you know, you can execute flawlessly and consistently is what I'm getting at. So for those of you who really don't know, we're able to, or we have been in the last couple years, been able to generate, you know, for our clients, the ones that have been with us, really amazing profits. I've really partnered with some really great guys in the industry who have the same idea about trading and about this whole retail market that I do. This is actually one of our live FX trade reports. If you're not new to us, then you've probably seen a similar report. Many of you have said, hey, look, you know what? I've seen that report before, and you know, it's actually very similar to my account, except that my account may be smaller or larger, is what I generally hear. Currently, we've got hundreds of thousands of dollars traded live using our softwares. So the FxEdge product line is absolutely the real deal. You know, most of the time when you have a trading system, most people trade, you know, $1,000 or $500. We've got traders like that too, but our traders really do trade. They're here to play. They're here to meet. They're here about business. They're here about bringing back their retirement accounts and really trading their way into another level of living. And so that's what it's really about. And it's not good enough for me to just show you this, obviously. So let me go ahead and show you. I actually wanted to pull up a couple accounts here. We've got one account that I just pulled up. Some of our guys have been very generous and graceful enough to let me show their live accounts. As you can see, it's an investor account that I pulled up here. This is a Malta account, FXD Malta, 71,000. This is a completely traded system. This system was traded completely, or this account was traded completely with our system, and this was a substantial gain on account here. Okay. I'm going to pull up a couple other ones quickly. I'm not going to give their information out, obviously. They've managed to give us their investor IDs, so let me pull them up without disclosing their information, of course. And these are the kind of traders that we have because they believe in us. And they're willing to give their information and share it because they want people to know what we have is real. Okay, so this is another account. As you can see, a deposit, $6,000. They later made another deposit just recently, actually. And actually their account is up, picked up another $5,000, and that was from just October. This is just, from September. Okay, so that account basically doubled itself within that period of time. All right. And as you can see, I'm scrolling through it. It's a real account, okay? And that's what's happened on that account. As you can see, this account was opened in September, as you can see there, and where it is currently. Okay, I've done that. I'm going to pull up just one more account from another one of our traders. If you haven't figured it out, this is what we're doing. This account actually made 20% during its time. As you can see, this account actually started with just $5,000 in it, and was up. Actually, is up over. They just recently made a deposit. I think you can see it here, but is currently up a few $1,000s. So that account went up 40% in that time period, and they just added to that account, which is great. And so this is what we're doing. This is real stuff. Not playing. It's not a play around deal. I want to make sure that there's a distinction between what we've been able to do and what's going on in the market in general. Now that we've made that distinction, let's get back to the business at hand. So that's based upon our IBO, our weekend warrior trades, everything else. Now we're adding an even more powerful tool to our arsenal. This is, if you like the way that equity curve looks, is our IBO Rev trade. Now, for those of you who've been in our Power Hour trading sessions, you've actually seen we gave you this trade a long time ago. Now, during the time that you had it, we gave it to you 8 or 9 months ago, I think, in the beginning. And as you can see, during that time, not the entire 700%, but certainly about 500% was picked up during that time that you could have been trading. But because I gave it to you. I said, hey, look, this is something from our underground vault. This is something that we're working on. Of course, guys, it takes a lot to be able to execute. There's a difference between finding something that works and actually executing it, and that's where we come in with the firepower. We come in, hardcore, and we're ready to teach you or to give you everything that you need to make this thing actually happen. So now that I have your attention with, number one, live trading reports, repeated, different live trading reports, okay, live in the market, live money in the market. I'm also now going to teach you about what it takes to be this and to do this and what to walk away from. Okay, this is when you become serious, and the guys who are obviously trading these accounts here and the ones who are willing to put their money and invest their money into our trading systems and their time into what we're doing and in themselves. Obviously, the people who have shared their accounts with us, obviously doing that out of gratitude, for what we've been able to accomplish here. First of all, I'll just go ahead and say this: the guys that are a part of this research and development team, Scott and myself, we do this, and we're going to do this whether we have you guys here with us or not, because we're still going to trade. We still have to make a living, and we still have to. We're still going to take profits out of this market. So we're still going to do the research and development that we currently do. It's going to happen one way or the other. The only difference is who are we going to share it with, and how are we going to move forward. And honestly, I feel as though the Power Hour sessions make me even more consistent because I'm always there to see more things in the market. When I run through it quickly, I just run through it very, very quickly, and I may see a discretionary trade here and there that I may take, and I definitely make sure that my trades are right. But certainly that helps me as well. It helps me also to be accountable, to make sure that everything is working the way that it's supposed to work. I've got to be on my P's and Q's. I've got to dot my I's and cross my T's, because everyone is seeing every single trade that I'm taking, and they're taking the exact same trades. So we've got hundreds of traders who are doing this. But how are we able to do what we've been able to do over the last few years? How have I been able to do this, since the time that I've been a full-time trader until now? How have we been able to do it? We're going to give you a little bit of that information so that you can understand it. And I got to tell you, man, there's a lot of stuff out there that's not that great. And I can tell you that right away. In fact, they don't even want us to be around because our stuff actually works. Why would you go somewhere else if you got something that actually works? But I got to tell you, this is how it looks. How to evaluate the long-term viability of the strategy. Very, very important. So I'm going to give you just a few basic tidbits, and I'm going to do it in the next 10 or 15 minutes. And then I'm going to talk to you about what we're bringing to the table. And I'm also going to talk to you about what we're going to have to do with the other strategies that we currently have out there. Okay? So it's all about the percentages, guys. Really, it's about probability. When I first did my first PowerPoint, when we first did our first PowerPoint on how we were able to do whatever we did, when I first came out, I actually was asked to do this by a big player in the industry, in the retail industry. And, when he came to me, he said, hey, okay, look, here's an account. I want you to trade this account. So basically in this account, I took, using my STP robots, took, a $40,000 account in about 2.5 months to $70,000, just a little under $70,000. And that was all he needed to see to believe, to be a believer. But when I did my first PowerPoint thereafter to show people what I was talking about, it was very verbose. It was about the many calculations and all the things that I do to get to this point, to what we've been able to achieve. I'm not going to do that today, but I will say that probability plays a very important role in everything that we're able to achieve here. We can't, that's what we become the house, and that's our job. My entire PowerPoint was about, giving equations and giving reasons and giving rationales, for why we do what we do and how we do it. I'm not going to do that today. I will tell you that we try to become the house. I will say that the the casino, the gambling industry is a $100 billion a year industry plus, okay? And how are they able to do it? Do you think it's by the comps that they give you on the hotel room or on the meals that they comp? Of course not. You know, they're giving up money on those things. It's because people go in there and they're going to gamble, okay? And they know that the games of chance that they have give them, even if it's just a 1% advantage, it gives them enough of an advantage to, over time, be able to extract billions of dollars from their clients or the gamblers in the industry. Okay, so basically, guys, probability, and they don't need a computer to do that. I mean, I'm sure they use that to develop some of the games of chance that they do use there, but certainly they don't need a computer to do that. This has been going on for hundreds and hundreds of years. As long as games of chance have been around, we're doing the very same thing. So for us, it's all about the percentages, okay? It's all about probability. It's all about the numbers, okay? And that's what we are able to do here, and what we're able to put together. So why are the numbers so important? In a trading system, they're very, very important. There are many trading systems that show you their results in pips or in dollars. However, the value that you need to be concerned with are the percentages. That's one of the things we're going to talk about. The difference between a gambler and what I consider to be a professional in the game. A poker player, even people have made careers in horse racing, those types of things. I believe it comes down to understanding probabilities of what they're doing, executing those probabilities, and also understanding proper money management. Okay, these are universal. Okay, and you've got to understand them, and if you don't, then you're not going to be in this game very long. And that's what we try to do, is we try to put everything in order so that you can profit over the long term. Okay. For instance, making $1 million sounds fantastic, but not if you start with $1 billion account, whereas making $5,000 is absolutely amazing return on your investment if you started with $1,000. For pips as well, earning a 100 pips means nothing if you don't know what you risked on the trade. It can mean a 1% gain or a 10% gain or more. Percentages are important. It's important to understand, what your strategy is going to yield and how it has yielded it in the past, and to understand, how that plays into your money management. If you don't know, then that's a problem. So let's talk about basic concepts that we have gone over before. I've heard people come back to us and say, okay, yeah, you said that my profit factor was 2. What does that really mean? The profit factor over this time period has been, 1.8 or 2 or 3 or whatever it is for that particular strategy. What does that mean? Okay, profit factor can be useful, and guys, these are the concepts that you have to have before you elect a strategy. I really believe that, because that's the concept that we have before we take any trade, before we take a strategy and we put it on our trade plan, okay? And that's what you should do as well. Profit factor can be useful, though, but it's absolutely necessary for a clear assessment of the profit generation of a system despite its name. Profit factor equals, in a nutshell, net gains by winning trades divided by net losses by losing trades. Okay, so a profit factor for an account that may have net gains of $1,017,000 and net losses of $321,000 would give you a profit factor of 3.17. Okay, because the net gains divided by the net losses. As you can see, this is a decent measure of volatility of your profit to loss, but not necessary for your overall profit. Okay, run through this quickly. How much was risked? This is something that a lot of people really miss out on. I'm going to tell you a quick story. It's going to be funny. It's not going to be that great. It's not going to be that funny, actually. When I first started really getting it together, I had the precursor to, or the predecessor to what we call the STP now for a lot of years. But what I started out with was what I called It was the SS. It was the SS something. I don't remember what I called it. I've got numbers and you know, I've got all sorts of you know, alpha. I've got all sorts of stuff that's out there, and I have a different nomenclature for them all. But when I first started with it, it made, you know, I was taking trades and I was making money, and it was great. I didn't have money management down. I just had a trading system that I thought was great. And I knew it was great because it made money. It was great until I took I took losses, and it was fine. But what I would do is, because we're taught to take lot sizes, you know, 1 lot trade, 2 lot trade, you know, or, you know, 0.5 lots, we just take a lot trade and we don't think about what it really means. You know, that 1 lot could very well be, you know, worth, you know, $10,000 as much as it's also worth, it could be worth $2,000. It really depends on where your stop is, you know, that it could be worth $60. It really does depend on how much, where your stop is, okay? So trading by lot size is not the right idea. When I see a system and it asks me to trade by lot size, when I see a robot and it asks me to trade by lot size, that's the first, it's, you know, then I'm out. I'm out the door right away, because that means they're not doing a proper assessment of lot size. Now, there are some systems out there that may work, but they're good and your account will do well as long as they continue to work. The moment that they fail, the moment that that trade no longer is viable, the moment that things go wrong, because they will, because this is the world of trading, as Scott and I very well do know, and many of you do know that as well. When they do fail, then that account's going to blow up. It doesn't matter how much you made. Eventually, it's going to blow up, especially as you're changing your lot sizes. Okay? So you can make a lot of money, but you've got to understand, how much am I risking? The question you've got to ask yourself before you take any trade, on a discretionary level, with a black box robot, with a gray box robot like what we have, which is a strategy, or just with a manual trading system, you've got to ask the question, how much am I risking on this trade? Okay? And so, just as I said, it's always important to review how your strategy developer used his risk to yield the results of his testing as well. If he required 10% risk to yield 100% profit in a year, never mind what he may have seen in his drawdown, that may not be as strong as a system which uses 5% or 2.5% to yield the same 100% ROI, return on investment, in 1 year. Drawdowns. What's a drawdown? Very important concept. Drawdowns are the ugly stepsisters of profits. It's impossible to eliminate all drawdowns from any investment. However, there are ways to reduce them considerably and keep risk to a minimum. That means a drawdown is when you have a valley. Of course, we all talk about the peaks, how much money we're making, but drawdown is how much do we lose during that time. Knowledge truly is power. Knowing your system's expected drawdown is one of the best ways to limit your drawdown. Number 1, you pick your strategy for its low maximum drawdown. 2, you watch your system for any aberrant behavior. So if you have any aberration for whatever reason, if you see your system take a larger than expected drawdown, stop, reevaluate your trade plan or execution. One of the things that we talk about all the time in our trading. Determine your win to loss ratio. Now, guys, all the stuff that I'm talking about here, and we're just about done with this portion of it, is so very important to it's important to the bottom line. You guys like the results. Yeah, we showed an account before that tripled itself. It went from $25,000 to over $100,000. You know, this is, you know, real trading, not some back-tested result. We've shown accounts that were doubled, you know, in just a few months. We've done all that, but this is what's behind it. This is what's important, and this is what you have to get your hands on, because so that you won't be, you know, someone's fool, you know, so that you will be in the money. This will be a great year because we've got the dynamic of the market is shifting. A lot is happening. And so what we want to do is, you want to be in the right place in the right time, doing the right thing, not looking back at another year when other people made money and talk about where you could have been and what you could have been doing. Bottom line. So listen closely. This is really good stuff. Win-to-loss ratio is one of the favorite risk management ratios traders look for in picking their systems. A favorable win-loss ratio, or percent profitable value, means a system takes more profitable trades than losing trades. So if you've got obviously a high win-to-loss ratio, then that's where you want to be. If your few losses are higher volume losses compared to your frequent but low volume wins, you may not want to use this ratio to guide your trade plan either, though. Okay? So, urban Forex myth. The more trades a system takes, the probabilities, the more trades a system takes, the probability is that you will make money and produce great amounts of profit. Okay? That is a Forex myth. False. Absolutely false. Just because you take a lot of trades doesn't mean you're going to make a lot of money. It doesn't work like that. Okay? That's an urban myth. The truth. The more trades a trading system takes, the more times the broker gets paid. In fact, the most effective trading systems are able to filter fake signals and low probability trades and only take high probability trades, resulting in lower volume trading. Isn't that right, Scott? I hear you laughing in the background there.
Yeah, you did, man, because that's, when I was day trading, that's exactly one of the big problems is I was looking at how much money I was making for the broker every day, every week, every month. The trades were a little bit, they were lower probability than what I take now. And, I made a good living, but, hey, I was making the broker an even better living.
That's it. That's it, and so that's...
And he didn't have any risk.
No risk at all. He's, you're sending his kids to college. You're thinking about putting your kids through college and paying their college debt off, and it's really, you're just taking care of the broker's kids. That's how it works. And you know what? They expect it to work like that. They want to be the casino. They want to be because the house, they're the house. They're always going to get paid. Whether you win or you lose, they're going to get paid. How do they get paid? By commissions, by transaction costs, bigger transaction costs for them. So, you've really got to have a really great system. People ask us all the time, why do you generally trade on the higher time frames? Well, even when we're trading on the lower time frames, we trade based upon the higher time frames. Why? Higher probability trading, number one. Number two is we don't want to take a lot of trades because it will eat away at your profits very, very quickly. Imagine this. You're scalping. Your broker offers pretty good spreads of about 2 pips for the euro dollar. Okay, and this is a decent spread. This is average. Okay, you're looking for 10 pips on the trade. Okay, the trade may even take a profit, but guess how much you're already giving to your broker? Whatever you made, you gave your broker 20% of it right off the bat, and that's on the winning trade. But guess what you're going to give him on the losing trade? You're going to take your loss, and you're still going to give him 20%. Okay, so these are the things you have to think about when you have those types of you're looking at a trading system. Who doesn't love net profit? One of the main numbers used to promote a strategy, maybe it's net profit. There isn't too much puzzle in its calculations. Gross profit minus gross loss equals total net profit. So, $1 million minus, here, 1.6 million minus 1 million equals, right around 600,000, okay? And that is basically gross profit. But what does it mean, if anything? Not much unless you know how you got there. What number did you start with and how close did you come to losing it all before you got there? So, sometimes it's amazing because I see guys and they get into programming so they can learn how to do this. And the first thing that they do is they get a good result finally after failing 1,200 times at it. They get a good result and they say, woohoo, this thing made, $1 million in, 2 days, whatever it is. Yeah, but in the meantime, you took a loss that puts you within 1% of having a completely blown up account. You lost 80% of your account on the way there. You're not trading that in real life, and that's not even viable. Okay, these are some of the things that you have to think about. ROI obviously is very important. Total net profit divided by initial investment. So let's say that you had a $696,000 dollar gain, total net profit. Your initial investment was $100,000 and you had a 696% ROI. Now, these are the concepts that you have to understand. Now, this video will be up. You'll be able to watch it later as well. But the most important thing you can do is that you must choose a plan. It's important that you understand not only the strategy you're trading, but also the risk, potential earnings, and all of the money management used in your trading strategy. Know your numbers, know your bottom line. Let's show you an example now. Let's look at the IBO reversal candle back testing results. Now we're talking. Now we're cooking with Crisco. This is the euro dollar that we have been talking about all year long. Now, many of you who've been with us for a long time have very much so done that. You've traded it a little bit. I know some of you guys tried it. And this is that same trade. We gave you settings, I think back in June or July, based upon what Scott came up with, and they were great settings, and we made money based upon those settings from a manual testing. That was free. I mean, not really free. Those people in the Power Hour got that. They got to get this setup, get the exact setup for this particular trade. But guys, you know what? I didn't hear a lot about the IBO Rev. Only when I was talking about it did I hear people talk about it. So I gave you a strategy, a viable strategy, and some of you are looking at it and you're like, wow, did I just leave all that money on the table? Yes. You did. You left all that money on the table. You have this strategy. Guys, and this is why one of the reasons that I'm always saying to you, you know what, you really, really need to, you got to put it all together. It's not just good enough to have potential. It's like in life. Some people go through life and they always have potential, but they never achieve anything. This particular trade that I gave you, that we gave you actually way back when, last year, had a lot of potential. You could have traded it. You could have traded it and you could have made all the money, but it's putting it all together. And that's why we do the robots. This is a perfect example of it, because you're going to miss trades. Life goes on. Things are going to happen, But by having the strategy yourself, so that you can trade it yourself manually, but then also having having the robot there to execute for you flawlessly, that's when you get these types of results. You don't make mistakes. I've made mistakes, guys. In my manual trading, I have made mistakes. I have taken trades. I said, okay, well, this is set up perfect, and the market's moving fast, and I'm thinking, man, I got to get into this trade. And either I messed up on my money management, or I messed up on my entry, or I messed up on my stop loss. I mean, it's happened, from time to time. And I've been trading for years. This is what I do. I'm not a marketer. I don't work a 9-to-5 gig. I'm a trader. That's what I do. I'm a strategy developer and I'm a trader. That's all we do. And it's so easy to mess it up, guys, and that's why you need the robots in place. So let's talk about some of the things that we were talking about. This is 696% ROI that we just talked about in 15 months. Euro dollar. Now let's talk about some of the numbers that we just looked at. Total net profit, 696, 492. This is in, really it's not even 15 months, guys. It's actually about 12 months of trading, okay? Gross profit was $1,017,000. Gross loss was only $321,000 for a profit factor of 3.17. Now, what does profit factor mean? You guys remember? It means that for every dollar risk, there was $3.17 that were made. Okay. Select total net profit. This was, and so you get down to the good numbers. Total number of trades taken, 90 trades in that entire year. Percent profitable, 72% profitable trades. That's 7 out of 10 were profitable. 64 winning trades. 25 of them were not profitable. And those are the real numbers. These are the numbers that we've shown you before with the IBO. We've shown you numbers before with the TT. We've shown you numbers before with the Weekend Warrior. This is something I'm very, very excited about because it makes it money and it makes it in the best possible way. You remember the slide that I looked at and I told you, I said, look, guys, you know, it's not always about how much you make. It's about, you know, how you got there too. Well, you want to have an equity curve that looks like this. It's smooth. It's going in the right direction, and it's, you know, bottom line, it makes money. Okay. What I want to do is, thanks, trade station.
Yeah,
Okay, so show me the money. Now you're saying, what about me? How is this going to affect me? Starting balance. If you had a starting balance of 100,000, we know what the ending balance is: $796,492. If you had a starting balance of $10,000, you would have made an additional $79,600. Starting balance of $5,000 would give you an ending balance of $39,800. Yes. And starting balance of $1,000 would give you an ending balance of $7,960. These are what that would have produced in the last year. Now, according to the results, now you're saying, okay, these are back-tested results. Well, I got to tell you, you know, we've been trading this thing. We've been trading this thing all year, and so that's why we're bringing it out to you guys who are serious about it. What I want to do is actually, I actually made a video the other day and put it in the. I wasn't expecting to do this, but if I can just find the video, it's a quick video of what we were able to do. Go ahead, Scott.
For those of you that are on the Power Hour, I'm sure you remember a few times Marcello bringing it up, because, you know, I can't remember, once every couple weeks or maybe even once a week, I would be messaging him during Power Hour saying, look, the IBO-REV took another trade. So I know, and I remember him calling them out to you guys, and I was trading them that whole time.
That's right.
And it's just an outstanding strategy.
Okay, so
what I personally had found is go ahead.
No, you're good.
Oh no, I'm just saying personally, what I had found is it just did a great job of picking the high points, picking the low points in the market, and that's part of why I think we have such a nice smooth curve on this thing.
Yeah, I think so too. Actually, I think I've got a video here. I think we watched the video before, guys. And if you guys missed that video, I showed you a video of us doing it, taking an IBO-REV trade, one of the only IBO-REV trades that we have this month. I'm going to actually show you this trade live and how the robot set it up. I actually just happened to catch it. It's like catching, you know, something in the wild. It's about 5 minutes. See if I can bring it up. I don't know how it's going to look here. Here. Today is January 6, 2011. We're actually getting ready, gearing up for a great year, hopefully, in trading. We're doing everything we can to prepare properly. One of the things that we have done in 2010 that we will actually reap from in 2011 is the FxEdge IBO-REV candle, which you happen to see here up on my screen is a trade that we've recently just taken. We actually, generally what this is it's got an IBO that forms an inside breakout trade, and it's followed by a reversal signal that gives us a higher probability of success as far as that trade is concerned. Right now we're pretty much at break even. As you can see, the trade's taken here. It's a long 2011 1/6/16 6/16/17, and what we have here is we've got our leverage, we've got all the information that we need here. I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page so that you understand what's going on here. And I'll tell you exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to let this thing run, and I'll check back with you later on. Talk to you later. Bye-bye for now. Okay, guys, what did we have? We actually had basically a false signal for the reversal to move to the upside. So our IBO-REV had an opportunity to move to the upside, gave us a signal to get into the upside move, and then subsequently headed straight south to hit our stop loss and get us in on our stop and reverse which we are currently in now. The stop and reverse position is about to hit its take profit here, as you can see, and the robot's taking care of all of this, of course. So now we're getting ready to hit our take profit. As you can see, we just hit our take profit. Now we are still in one position. That one position is going to keep on running until we hit our trailing stop. So hopefully we'll be able to take this trade and actually make additional money, even more money off of that trade, which was initially a loser. So we'll wait and see. Talk to you soon. Okay, guys, it has been just a little bit of time that's passed here, maybe an hour, hour and a half, maybe somewhere in that vicinity, that we have taken this IBO Rev trade, okay, and as you can see here, our initial side, initially what we wanted to do was to take a buy because that's what the signal was giving us. As you can see, there's some fundamentals in the market that are affecting the direction. Not a problem for us at all, as we realized that we were in the wrong direction, or the robot did, and automatically moved in the opposite direction. Currently, we're up on this trade an additional. We've already taken profit on the first position, as we've already discussed. We have already moved into pretty good profit here, and moved into in profitability, even in lieu of the other side. Most obviously, most often, the probability is that the Rev is going to go in the initial direction. In the event that it does not do so, we have an opportunity to profit on the other side. As you can see, this one's up $7,000 more or less right now, and we will actually continue to monitor this, but I'm not sure, but I think I'm going to close this particular broadcast out. I just wanted you guys to see what is going on in my secret underground Forex trading lab. Some of the stuff that we've been working on for a lot of you. You've heard about the IBO Rev for a long time. I never brought it to market, but it's a great trade, and something that in 2011 I very well may let my students be privy to. So anyway, guys, happy trading. Let's keep on doing it this year. Hopefully we'll be able to do what we did in 2010, but on a grander scale, be able to profit and prosper and be in the 5 to 10% in the Forex market that actually make money. Talk to you soon. This is Marcello Ducil signing out. Okay, guys, that trade actually went off to make considerably more money. And I wonder if I can actually find it. Okay, I'm actually going to catch the end of it so you can see it. There you go. With the market, so now we have protected approximately 150 pips of profit. We currently have roughly 190 pips of profit on the table right now with this trade. If the trade continues to run down, we will continue to run with it. If it comes and abuts our current stop loss, then we will be out of the trade with 150 pips of profit. We'll wait and see what happens from here. Either way, we cannot be upset about this trade. This trade has produced a considerable profit for us. So, talk back to you guys with any updates here. And so, we've had a pretty good trading day there. Okay, guys, so that is a live look at the IBO Rev. When I made this video, I was just making a video. I actually caught the trade itself. Usually I'm sleeping or I'm, strategy developing, talking to Scott and to our other project managers about stuff that we're working on. But we were lucky enough to catch this particular trade, and I caught it live. And so you guys got to actually see it in its development. We actually got in the wrong side, as you can see here, and then it just ran off and more than made up for profits for us. Okay, now along with the euro dollar, some of you are saying, hey, you know what? I've already got great stuff. I've got the IBO, I've got the Weekend Warrior trade, I may even have the TT. Well, really, guys, to be honest with you, I think that this is a great compliment. How many times have you been on the, and I'm putting it on my trade plan, number one, how many times have you been in the, inside of the an IBO trade, and the IBO trade either went straight to its take profit, got you out too early, and you're thinking to yourself, man, I know there's more money in this, and you watch it go off and run off and do something else, and you're smart enough because you're disciplined enough to not get in on anything else. But if you had a reason to get in, and that's why we do this, then you'd want to get into that trade. So what's great about the IBO Rev here is that it works off of a completely different dynamic than anything else that we have. We've got plenty of stuff. We don't put it all out there. We just put things out there that we're using. I almost feel guilty because I've given you stuff, but we're also using other things that are making us money that really will complement. This IBO Rev complements your trading plan, complements your IBO very, very well. It will complement, especially if you've got the hybrid, the STP, and especially if you've got the Weekend Warrior. I think that it's a very good complement. As you can see here, we've also got an Aussie Yen trade that has traded very, very well on the IBO Rev. 566% there, 506% ROI there. Aussie Yen. As you can see, it's got a 2.43 profit factor, 74% win ratio. These are the kind of numbers that you're looking for, that kind of consistency. And so anyway, that's what we feel about this particular trade, and you know the numbers. And imagine now if you put just two of these things on your trade plan. Imagine if you don't have anything else and you've got the IBO Rev. That by itself is good. But imagine you're doing this in complement with an IBO trade, with your Weekend Warrior trade. I can tell you, Greedy Scott's doing that right now, because as long as you're not exposed.
Well, yeah. Hey, I'm excited because this thing gives me exposure to in this case, two different currency pairs that I normally wouldn't trade.
Exactly.
The Aussie Yen for sure. I don't normally trade the Aussie Yen. But it's a nice. Come on, it gives me exposure to the yen and to the Aussie, and there's some reasons, from some fundamental reasons anyway, why I think those could be really exciting pairs.
Yeah, I agree. What I also wanted to tell you guys is what we're getting ready to do is, and I'm, this is also the pound dollar. The pound dollar obviously had a 2.72% profit factor. Didn't take a lot of trades, but it had about an 80% win ratio. Really good looking to us there as well, even though it's not that high. The other thing, guys, is that we've had guys in the industry, and I think we just looked at live trade. We just took a look at a live trade here. We've had guys in the industry, some people in the industry try to take take some of our ideas and also pirate our robot. So we're actually pulling some of our stuff back. We had left it open there for a long time. We're going to continue to service people, continue to do the things we're going to do, and we're also going to have launches, but we're going to do our launches and then we're going to pull our stuff back. We're going to pull back the IBO. We're going to pull back the TT. We're going to pull back, the robots that we have out there currently. And when we're ready to do a launch, like the one that we're doing today, we're going to put it out there, and we're going to make it available to you. So that's actually an announcement there for those people who are, diehards for the for the trade. Now, how is it achieved? How are we able to achieve all this? Well, guys, obviously, you know, the fully automated trading system gives you a level of consistency and obviously execution that you can't have, that you've had, you know, that you can only get with this. It's a gray box trading system, which means that you get all the rules, you understand exactly how it works, okay, from the inside out. Consistent money management, built-in risk parameters personalized for you, detailed trading plan. Really, guys, when I first started this, you know, we gave all the robots to people and we let them go wild, and that was a problem because they traded the robots just as they traded everything else. Like, they just went crazy. And so we said, what is the difference? What are they doing wrong? It's because they didn't have a trade plan. And so when we gave them a trade plan and we said, hey, this is what I'm trading, that was the difference. People began to make money, just the same kind of money that you've seen with us here. And of course you get me, a top Forex trader. Whoever's a part of our program is going to get me in the live trading sessions, in the power hour every day, you know, Monday through Thursday anyway, for, you know, an entire month without any payment at all. Well, it's going to be free for you for that particular month. Okay, you also get unlimited professional support by email, Skype, forums, live remote access to your platform to make sure that you're doing everything right. If you come to me and say, hey, you know what, I didn't get the same results you did, then we send in a technician to make sure that your robot is set up properly, because it's supposed to do exactly what mine is doing. That's what it's supposed to do in theory. Daily live power hour teaching and alerts. And we've also, let me say this, is that we've also seen these types of results because people, you know, have been doing exactly what I tell them to do, and that's a good start until you get used to the system. You can do your own thing. We've got people who really use it as a hybrid trading system, and they make their adjustments to the robots themselves. Okay, 24-hour access to training tutorials including our renowned FX bootcamp. You also get access to lots of trading videos, lots of trade examples, lots of stuff like that. You also get exclusive webinars, like we're going to be putting on an exclusive webinar for the IBO tomorrow for everyone to make sure that they've got the right settings and they're doing the right things. Sit back and watch your system profit. That's what it's all about here. Risk-free. Don't risk a single dollar. We've got a 30-day money-back guarantee. Trade the IBO Rev for 30 days. And if the strategy doesn't make profit within that 30 days, we will give you your money back. It's just that simple. I mean, I can't expect, if you haven't made any money with me while you were trading the robot, you should be able to give it back. So for those of you, go to myfxedge.com /rev/. Now, I've made it, and I do this all the time. I try to make it as easy as possible for all of our traders. And so what I've done is I've actually brought it in to the lowest price that you will ever see any of our robots for, ever. And this is what we did when we first launched, not the IBO, but we launched the triple threat. We made it available to our group, and you guys are inside of on our list. So we actually give you a substantial discount. Here you're getting a 20% discount on this software that you will never see again. And those of you who have been with us long enough know that these prices don't come back up ever, even when we do a subsequent launch. They never come back up because that's just the way that it is. We do this for our group because we need you to do well. We won't get testimonials. We won't get the access to investor IDs or anything like that. Unless we give you, we're not going to get the results that we want unless we don't give you the best that we have. And so we're going to make it available to you. We're going to make it available to you today to make sure that you have no reason to say no. We're going to make this a no-brainer. Okay? So you get the IBO Rev Candle Unlimited Battle-Tested Trading System. For those of you who had the opportunity to trade it for the last 6-8 months and did not, you're sitting and you're probably kicking yourself right now because you left money on the table. Lots of it, actually. I told you about it. I gave you the strategy because that's what I want. I want you guys to be able to trade it. I want you to become better discretionary traders. Now the discretion is over. Now it's time for me to give you the exact way to trade the robot exactly the exact settings, the exact way, and to make it an exact science. And now you're going to trade exactly the way that I trade it. Okay, and that's it. You get a 30-day trial to the FxEdge Power Hour live training sessions. You'll get a personalized FxEdge trading plan. I'm going to tell you exactly what's on my plan as well, which is probably the most important thing. The robot is basically trading the way that I trade, discretionarily, and it's also, I'm also going to give you the exact trading plan so that you can put the robots that I am, the way that I'm putting them on my trade plan, and how I trade it on a particular account. If you think that you've got too much stuff on an account, just look at all of our trade reports again. I mean, I just showed you live accounts, okay, in their investor IDs, with their investor IDs that showed them doubling and tripling their accounts depending on, whoever it was. Some people made 40%, some people made, 100%, 200% on their accounts, and they're doing it using the same stuff that we've got, so this is not, obviously, whatever we're doing, it's working. You also get access to the Platinum membership to our website, www.myfxedge.com, exclusive access to our IBO private training webinars, access to real live trading examples. You also get the trading journal. You know that. Actually, the trading journal is different from the trading plan. It actually is a great value because you can plug your trades in there and do an analysis of them. You get my free video report, 30 minutes to starting making money now in the Forex, free report, $60,000 now. This is actually one of my favorites, my $60,000 tuition to the School of Hard Knocks. This is where I tell you about how I messed up in the market and took my loss. Just about every great trader in the market has blown up an account once or twice, and I definitely did mine and blew up one of my accounts in the beginning. And as you can tell, it was my $60,000 tuition to the School of Hard Knocks, and I think it's better than a Harvard education because I ended up taking it and parlaying it into much more than that. And of course, access to the Forex Boot Camp, a full Forex trading course. So you get all that, myfxedge.com /rev/. Now I'm going to answer some questions. Okay, how much is this after the 30 days? Nothing. You paid for it. It's yours. That's it. And you also get, continued service. You get, unlimited support for it. And of course, I'm going to tell you how long it's going to work. One of the other things we're going to do, guys, we've never had this happen, but if something for whatever reason is not functional, if it's not working, or if the strategy no longer is viable and we can't make it viable, I'm not going to leave you hanging. I'm going to give you something that is working, okay, within a 1-year time period. That's how that works. So really, you really have no risk whatsoever. This trade is an excellent trade. If you just do what I tell you to do, as everyone else has, it's going to rock. It's it's going to based upon what we have been able to do in the past is what I'm saying. That it's probably going to do that in the future. Now, of course, past performance is not necessarily indicative of future returns, but you have seen the live trade results. You've seen what we've been able to create. You can be the judge for yourself and determine what you think it will be. Either way, it's a a money back 30-day, no risk guarantee. So take a look at it, play with it, make some money off of it. Okay, that's what I want you to do. Hey Ike, how are you? No, you don't. We've never offered the IBO Rev before, ever. Okay. Yeah, it's really an infrequent trader. The WW, I think, is a great trade as well. The WW has a different dynamic. The Weekend Warrior has a different dynamic completely than what we're looking at right now. And actually, this trade doesn't trade as much. Like I said, it took 95 trades over the last 12 to 15 months. It's actually a pretty safe, and it's a very safe trade if you haven't noticed here. And it's also going to add diversity to your account, to your portfolio, because it operates off of a different dynamic. That's what I said about the Weekend Warrior, which is what I liked. It operates off of a completely different dynamic. Here's some questions. I'm going to let you go at it, Scott, if you want to. How does the trailing stop work? Basically, Auburn, if I can answer that without, giving away what people are actually paying for. The trailing stop, essentially, what it's going to do is we have a trailing stop in place that is going to it just basically is going to move forward the market. It really depends how we trail it. We trail it based upon the strategy and based upon the currency pair, because every currency pair and every strategy is completely different. But essentially, we're just trying to capture as much as we can without getting stopped out in the market, without giving back too much of our profits, essentially. How does it differ from the IBO Pro Unlimited? Now, this is a completely different system altogether. The IBO is a breakout system. This is a reversal-based system, and Scott can tell you he loves it because he thinks that it catches it catches a lot of moves in the market.
Yeah, I think it's just tremendous at catching. Well, just what you said though, Marcello, catching the reversals, catching the market reversals.
Yeah, exactly. It catches the market reversals. Do we replace the IBO with the IBO Rev or run them together? You're going to run them together. That's why it's a complement to the IBO, which is why I released it. I don't want you to replace it, and if I thought it was going to be a replacement, I wouldn't give it to you. It's actually a very, very good complement to the IBO, because when imagine this, you're in an IBO, you're in the afterglow of making money off the IBO, but now you see that the markets continue to run, it's doing something, and you're not in it. What are you going to do? This is another opportunity for you to take advantage of it. Also, when the IBO loses trades sometimes, guys, it actually gives you an opportunity to make money back on that trade that it was, in that same move that the IBO original was losing on. So it's actually, it's wonderful, for that reason.
Well, I think too, most of our strategies, or not most all of them, in general, some of our strategies, what we want to do is stay in the market. As long as it's moving in the direction we want it to go, we want to be in it. But mostly we want to be out of it. We want to be out of the market when it's not doing what we want it to do. But when it's moving the direction we want it to go, we want it to stay in it. I mean, that's just good trading. And, there's no secret there. But what this is doing is giving us another opportunity to stay in the market. So the IBO gives us one opportunity, and if the market should reverse and go a different direction, well then instead of being out of that movement, it allows us to be in the movement.
Exactly. Exactly. And like I said again,
when we talked about it, I remember us developing this strategy in the beginning, talking about it. Hey, look what happens. We were in this IBO, and then boy, if it reverses, then we're just out, and then we can watch it move, the market move a lot, and we can't be in it. And so as we went through and developed this, and then wow, it was, Marcello, I know you remember how excited I was, and you were like, oh, okay, good, now I can really get some work out of you, because you get excited doing this, and you see how many other opportunities there are. And so this is why it has been my baby since since I started working on it, because it's the first. You got me really excited about another new new novel way to make money.
Here I've got a question. I've got a couple of questions here. Thanks, Scott. I've got a couple of questions here. It's about being confused about the IBO, the reversal on the IBO. Okay, basically what happens, guys, is you're in a trade on the IBO. If that IBO is going in the wrong direction, if the robot determines that you're going in the wrong direction, you have an option to have it go in the other direction, hopefully the right direction. This is called a stop and reverse. This is completely different than a completely different strategy. That is, we just pack what you have full of options and opportunities, the same opportunities that we're using. You don't have to change anything on the robot, obviously. We've already got the defaults programmed into what you need to trade right now. But the the IBO Rev is a completely different strategy. It basically is. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think I want to answer that one, Marcello. Great question too. I think, by the way, Great question. Have you been trading it? That's, I think, exactly what I would have asked. And maybe you're going to add to this, Marcello, but it's a totally different dynamic. That stop and reverse that's built into the IBO is working off the dynamic of the IBO itself. This IBO reversal is working off a different dynamic. It's a reversal dynamic totally separate from the one that causes the IBO one to work.
Yeah, it's got lots of, anyway, it's a great trade. It's a great trade. It's an awesome trade. Do you run it on the same account? Yes, you do, as the IBO. Yes, you do. Absolutely, you can run it on the same account. In fact, that's what I'd recommend that you do. Yes, it is absolutely automated. Can all robots be traded on one account, or would there be too much drawdown or enough margin in the account to run all robots in one account? Yeah, it depends on your risk. If you're trading them all at 10%, it doesn't matter what you trade, you're going to get a margin call. Because especially trading 50 to 1 in the U.S., you're just not going to be able to do it. But obviously, you can trade whatever you can trade them all on the same account. Many of us are trading it on the same account, so it's not a problem at all. You can trade the IBO. In general, you're not going to have an IBO Rev and an IBO necessarily at the same time, or at least in the first position. You'll more likely have the add-on. You may get one on a stop and reverse, but you'll definitely it'll be definitely going in the same direction. So it's giving you the opportunity to take profit. Okay, it's giving you the opportunity to take profit, to take advantage of the situation that you have forming on the IBO itself. Okay, what percent risk do you use? I use 2.5%. It depends on the account that I'm talking about, but you can use between 2.5 and 5%. On any account. I like 2.5. It really depends on what I'm trading. Lots of questions here, but we have a reversal option. Yeah, the reversal option is a completely different thing on the IBO. It's a different option. If you get an IBO Rev that forms, you could very well get out of an IBO trade itself and have a much better, and actually have a nice setup. As you saw, the setup that I had on that IBO, my IBO Rev wasn't in that trade. My IBO wasn't in that trade. My IBO Rev, though, took that trade, got a stop and reverse trade all the way down on that IBO Rev, and was able to bring in about 20% profit on that trade by itself. So it's pretty much where you want to be. We've got many different options. Here's an option. How much do we pay? You've got many different options here, guys. You've got the, you can pay in full. What we're doing is, in general, we charge, because obviously our stuff is real. It's not, it's not the fake stuff. It's the real stuff. It's the stuff that actually makes money, and we do give good service and everything else that we do. No apologies for that. Obviously, we do produce. So basically, you have, in general, we charge about $1,000 for our strategies and our robot. What we'll do is, what we're doing, because we're into our list here, it's for $7.99. You're never going to see it lower. Only when we come out with something new do we offer it this low. At $7.99, one easy payment. We also have a 2-pay that's available to you for 2 payments of $4.29, or you have a special offer at 3 easy payments of $2.89. So we made it so that no one has an excuse not to get in this and not to be kicking themselves when other people are making money. The interesting thing is that when we came out with the, trading the IBO, some people, maybe did not trade the IBO. And I said, listen, you got to trade the IBO 1 bar. People didn't listen to me. And then when they saw how other people were doing, they were kicking themselves. Now everyone wants to trade the IBO, and that's a part of the way that it works. Yes, I do, Celia, I do know VPS systems. I'm giving it to you. If you haven't figured out that I'm the real deal yet, you will very soon if you join us and you're a part of this. 2011 is going to be a very, very volatile. It's going to be a year full of opportunity. And we have talked about that, Scott, the entire time.
Oh, yeah.
You know, in fact,
No,
I'm not.
Absolutely. We talk about it every week.
We talk about it every week. So we prepared ourselves to be able to take advantage of the moves in the market as they're going to come. You know, I'd say middle of the years, I'd say July, August, especially in August, I came in to the room and I told everyone, I said, look, guys, we're going to have this last quarter, we are due for a big movement in the market. Okay? I said that. I said it. I made it clear, and we waited for it. Yeah. And as soon as September came around, as soon as we touched September, we just saw that thing shoot. And you know what? People left money on the table, but not FxEdge traders. Those who were doing what they're supposed to do, they took home a boatload of money. And that's what you saw here. And those of you who know, when we were in here in March, we had a big move. January was a good time. And also May was another good time in the market where we did exceptionally well. You know, but you have to be in it. You've got to have the trades. You got to have your net cast if you want to take some fish home. You know, and you're not going to take anything home unless you're trading the right stuff. And that's just the way that it is.
Well, I get myself into trouble, so it's so nice to have an attorney around to correct me. But one thing that I just throw out there, and I didn't check it with you, Marcel, so sorry if I say the wrong thing, but since I trade this thing all the time and have for 9 months now, or 10 months, I just say to the group, those that are thinking about getting in and whatnot, tomorrow or the next day is going to be. I'm going to just having traded it a lot, likely to get a setup for the IBO reversal. Very likely. So if you get in, check it out. I mean, don't know. We never know.
That's right.
But conditions are right. That these are the conditions that we have them. Particularly those of you that trade the IBO. Look at your IBO and I'm just telling you, the next day or two is a good opportunity for one, and it could be a very nice one too. I mean, I know Marcel and I talked about it earlier because I was saying, oh, could be a good day next day or two.
Yeah, we could definitely have good movement in the market coming up, and we are probably due for an IBO Rev to do its thing. So we're definitely looking forward to potentially. We don't know what's going to happen, but something potentially happening there, and of course it's going to do whatever it's going to do if that opportunity does present itself.
And I tell you too, 3 of the major moves in the euro second half of last year. Hey, I got to catch them because of this trade, because I was watching this trade and it caught the top or bottom of the move. It was beautiful. Yeah,
that's it. Now, see, that's there you go. That's what you're talking about, is getting in early on the top or the bottom move. And he's always talking about that, about how this thing has a knack of catching the tops and bottoms of these moves. We've gone into power hours. We've said it. You guys have the opportunity to trade it. Those of you who are going to trade it are, you're well on your way. Okay, here I've got a couple questions here. I'm going to get right to them. Do you have strategies that were developed and now no longer work, or do you adjust those to become profitable again? It's not the strategies that change; it's the market that changes. No, we have never had a strategy that we put out there. We've put out the STP, the IBO, the Weekend Warrior, and now this trade here, and the TT, of course, and they've been profitable. As you can see, they've remained profitable. We have not taken any one of these trades off the market or pulled it back. We do adjust them according to market conditions. We made an adjustment to the IBO that was, obviously welcome, and we have been rewarded very, very well for it. And this is the reality of real life trading. You will have to make adjustments from time to time. And when we do make it, as we have made those adjustments, we have been rewarded for it.
And we have seen where a pair that worked very well will not work for a time.
Right.
Or not that it won't work, but it won't be as profitable. But again, the strategy was still, still good, still viable, and in fact, I think right now we even have seen. I'm not going into details with what they were, but we've seen some of our strategies where some pairs that had fallen out of favor are back in favor again. they're working again.
That's it.
So
And
I
that's
mean,
what
the market is dynamic. It does change, no doubt about it.
it does change. And you know what, guys? Honestly, it comes down to us. I mean, it really does come down to us. I mean, all we're doing is taking our know-how, taking what we're doing on a discretionary basis and putting it in manual basis, I should say, and putting it inside of a robot, which gives you the opportunity to trade it, and hopefully by some form of osmosis, you're in not just that, but obviously the strategies, being in the room with us, or for the power hour and with us, with if you're in the Weekend Warrior, with all of us, then you get to see how we trade these things, see how we react to the market, and make sure that you're doing the exact same thing that we're doing. That is powerful. That is powerful. That is mentorship at its best, and that's what you need.
There's a minimum, and there's a minimum of 10 of us working on this stuff all the time. Not all of us are full-time at it, but a number of us are full-time working at these strategies, so that as the market changes, which it does, we keep you up to date. And I mean, that's where, Marcello, I know you just mentioned the IBO, where you came out to some changes on the IBO. People that had the IBO, and we made the changes to it, and that's one of the things that you get involved with us for, is that you have that back office support. You have those of us that do that for you. Because Marcello has asked me before, could you do this on your own? And no, I couldn't do it on my own. I couldn't keep up with all these strategies. There's not enough time in the day.
That's it. It's not enough. But we do have a full research and development team that stays on top of it, and that's one of the reasons that I put this entire thing together, to attract the caliber of people that would make this everything that it is today. So, okay, I'm going to answer just a couple more questions. It trades infrequently, more infrequently than some of the other trades. It really does pick its trades very, very. It's very, very selective with its trades, and so as a result, we have a higher win ratio, and we have a very nice equity curve. That's what I like about it. Unless I wouldn't come up with it. Trust me, we come out with a lot of things, and I think this one's the one to come out with for 2011 to complement your trading. Yes, of course. Marcello, would you recommend running this robot even if I have a full-time day job? Absolutely. This thing is built for you. It's built for the guy who can't be there all the time. Basically you take the robot, you put it on a chart, and you go live life. And when you can come back, you check on it. We always say check on your stuff. Nothing's infallible, period, but absolutely check on it. But this is what people do. I don't sit in front of my computer all day looking at my trading platform anyway. I mean, I do sit in front of my computer, but I'm looking for other stuff. I'm looking, we're looking at new trades, new strategies. I'm looking at the market movement, but I'm not worried about my trades. I take a good look at them once or twice a day, even now, even though I'm full-time, because I got my robots on the job.
And I can answer that too, that just the way that my life has gone lately, I have these things set up on a on a computer in my office running, and then I'm be out living my life. And I may be working at the Starbucks, or I may be working in the car waiting for my kids or whatever. I'm on my laptop doing the work that I do, but the computer is taking the trades, live in the market trades.
There you go, exactly. I've got a couple good questions here. Do we replace the IBO with the IBO Rev? No. No, don't do
No.
that. No. You can run them both. The IBO and the IBO Rev will run very well in complement to each other. Okay? What is the difference between, okay, yeah, we just answered that. Excellent and exciting. Awesome. Are you putting both the Euro and the Aussie yen on your trade plan? And are there no problems trading in tandem with other reversal strategies like the TT or the Euro? Actually, this one works really well with, based upon the IBO, so it's really, what happens, guys, in an IBO, why we like this trade so much is, an IBO basically is where the market is focusing on a certain time period. It's bringing about a contraction because it doesn't know what direction it wants to go in. When it finally does go in that direction, a couple things are going to happen. It's going to go right to where it wants to go, or it's going to say, it's going to hit the brakes and hit the reverse, put itself in reverse and say, hey, I don't want to be there anymore. And then a few bars after, first, that's how we make money off the IBO. Now, what the Rev candle does actually is that it's, a few bars after that, okay, when the market calms down a little bit, then you've got a particular formation, okay, within a certain range of bars, depending on the currency pair, that will have a higher probability of success. So now you've made money off your IBO Rev, okay, hypothetically, you've made money off your IBO Rev. You are in the glow, on your IBO, sorry. And I can see why this is confusing. I'm saying IBO and IBO Rev. You've made money off your IBO robot, and now you're in the afterglow, and you're seeing the market continue to move. Now it's starting to move again, and you're nowhere to be found because you don't have an entry. What are you going to do? That's the question. What do I do? Well, you're going to trade the IBO Rev because it's going to be ready to take that next trade, and it's going to be a higher probability trade. So that's as much as I can answer as far as that's concerned. And it does work well with the other trades. As you can see, guys, I just showed you accounts that have the WW on them, the IBO on them, the TT on them. I mean, these are what these accounts have on them, And if they're trading everything that that we have out there. I'm batting 1,000 right now. I keep on saying that there, people, but it's true. I'm batting 1,000. Everything that we put out there has been, it's made money. It's just the way that it is. That's just the way that it has been. We work hard. We have a system. I got to tell you, Scott works very, very hard for you guys, for me, for himself, for his clients. And all of our guys do. And we have a system here. It obviously works. And this is what we have used to implement the IBO Rev.
Hey, and don't be deceived. There's stuff that we've worked on that you never saw and you're never going to see, and we don't trade.
Right, exactly.
There's things that we develop and say at the end of the day, hey, it's just not good enough.
That's true.
It just doesn't get the kind, how often do we say, well, I wouldn't risk my money on it?
That's it.
We had some that only made 100% per year. Well, we just didn't want them.
Exactly. Most people would say 100% per year is excellent. In fact, if you make 20% in any hedge fund, you're doing phenomenally well. That's not good enough for us. 100% is not good enough for us, not for our risk. So we look for.
We were joking the other day about it, right? Because I said I did financial planning for 8 years. And, I just can't even imagine in those days for a client saying, 100% a year, yeah, that's not worth your risk.
But that's why we're here.
Happy with 15, so.
That's it, absolutely. But, we've thrown away strategies that only, produced or had the ability, in our opinion, to produce, to yield, 100% or 150%, We've thrown away those strategies, literally. So, or we benched them. We put them on a shelf, and they're collecting dust right now. we've got good stuff out there. We've got stuff that doesn't work. We develop a lot of stuff to get the good stuff that you see here today. You know, that it takes a lot. It takes a lot of money. It takes a lot of time. You know, and it takes a lot of effort and a lot of, you know, a lot of brain power at the end of the day, a lot of inspiration. So, and a lot of experience. So, you know, this is a great trade. Yes, Kurt, so this is automated, meaning we don't have to be present to execute the trades. Absolutely, it's 100% automated. Now, you can, if you want to, absolutely, you know, take manual trades, because we give you also the trading system. We tell you how to trade it. You know, I know that there are a lot of guys out there who have trading systems, and they tell you how to trade, but we want you to have the full deal. I mean, I know some guys, the other day actually, no flack off of them at all, but I think it's kind of funny. They came out with a new trading system, and I have, you know, of course, I've got respect for anyone who's a trader full time, so I'm not mocking them or anything like that. But they came out with a new trading system, and the trading system, you know, what they said was, you know, and a programmer came out, and this guy's been in the industry for a long time, so I have a lot of respect for anyone who's been in the industry for a long time. He said, well, you know, the problem was that nobody could understand what I was doing. I was making money, but nobody else was seeing me make money. He had this trading system for 10 years, you know, or for 5 years that he was retailing to everybody else. And he says, well, now I've got a system for you. Now we figured out just how to make it much easier for you, much more accessible to the average person, which, you know, still wasn't automated, still, you know, still required manual trading, still required all that stuff. You could still mess it up, okay? In other words, that's not the case here. You know, whatever I do, you can do too. It's a simple strategy that you can learn in literally 20, maybe 30 minutes. Now, executing it properly, you need a robot to take every trade, because if you don't have a robot, you're not going to be able to you're not going to be able to walk away from the table with everything that you want. You know, you're not going to without being able to take every trade. You're not going to really be able to be the house and use probability on your side like the casinos do. And so that's why it's important. Yes, 100% automated in a nutshell. You put it on your chart and you walk away. Someone else had a question about, can I put both of them on the same chart? You can use them both on the same platform, but you'd have to put them both on different charts. So let's say that you even had €2 you wanted to put them on. You'd have to open €2 charts. I would show you how to do that, or one of my staff would, of course. We'll actually have a follow-up webinar for the FxEdgeIREV as well. We're not leaving you hanging. First of all, you're going to be in the sessions with me in the power hour sessions with me, guys. Every single one of you who's going to be there. You're also going to be there with me. I'm going to give you an FxEdgeIREV follow-up session. If I can twist Scott's arm and make him go, then he'll be there too with you. So we'll both be there to show you just how to make this thing work properly. And if you have any issues, then we've got Skype, we've got email, we've got technical support staff that will actually get into your computers and put it together for you. Guys, I'm making this a no-brainer. I'm trying to make it in every single way possible so that there's no way that you can actually mess it up, you know, because that's what I'm doing for myself. Not that I'm patronizing you, not that I'm saying that you can mess it up. Hey, we can all mess it up. I have messed it up, and you can absolutely mess it up too. So that's why I take all the risk out of it, and what I'm doing for myself, I'm just offering it to you. And don't be deceived. There are things that you don't ever get to see. So this is one of the great things. I've got to put some of this stuff out there so that you guys can have very good results. That's why I'm going to do releases of software every now and then, and why we around the clock are working on, giving you guys serious strategies, and also preparing strategies. We have strategies in the vault. We may not pull them out. Yes, it is a vault. Literally, no one else is going to see some of the stuff that we come out with. Bottom line. okay? And we're going to put it back in the vault when we're in the mood to, too. And that's just going to be it. And those who have it, they will have it. And those who don't, they will not. And that's just the way it is. Yes, can all robots be traded on an account? Yes, absolutely. All robots can be traded on an account. As you can see here, we've got the reports that I showed you. You know, most of them, actually 2 of the 3 reports, have everything that we have on them. STP, IBO, a TT, you know, it's got everything there. Yes, you can run it on the same account. Yeah, this is a good point. LA, thanks. You said the robots work best in a trend. This IBO rev sounds like it's catching the pullback or a trend reversal. Bam, you got it. You nailed it right on the numbers. Of course, wouldn't expect anything less from you. What percent risk? Yeah. What pairs are recommended? You mentioned the Aussie yen, the euro dollar, the you know, what else? The pound dollar. There are other currency pairs as well that we can talk about later, but we're just showing you a few of them that are available for you. And honestly, guys, I don't want you to take a lot of currency pairs. You know, choose one. That's, I mean, guys, if you choose one, you can. I mean, can you imagine just choosing, you know, one of these things and really just doing very well with it? I mean, the bottom line is you don't need a lot. You know, once you get the right stuff on, you just need to be something that's going to be in the market and going to take advantage of the market. You need to have a net that's going to catch the right things. And that's why I'm telling you not to put it on a million different currency pairs, but to trade a couple currency pairs and walk away from the table a winner, you know. I've got to admit I'm extremely excited about my IBO. Also considering the Weekend Warrior and now this IBO Rev, I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed. Is that normal? Yeah, actually it is. And you know what? When we develop new strategies, we feel overwhelmed too, especially when we come up with something that really does work. We gotta think to ourselves, you know, how does this fit into the game plan? Do we shelf this one? Do we pull this one out? And when we pull a trade out and we actually bring it to you, it's because it's just that good. You know, that's it. So it's something to think about. I know there's a lot there. We can help you get through it. Okay, Wen-Sun, send a message to us at info@myfxedge.com. They will take care of you. They will make sure that you're taken care of. Here's Bond. Tell the fence sitters that I have the TT, then the WW, and both paid for themselves quickly for me. I just bought the IBO Rev, and I'm sure that this will pay for itself soon. Thanks, Bond. I appreciate that. That's great. Marcello, is it possible for the IBO Finder to be adapted for this strategy? Now, that's a good idea. It's a little bit more complicated. Potentially, we could do that. That's something I'd be willing to think about. Yeah. We'll try to work on that. So it trades those 2 currency pairs only. Actually, we showed 3 currency pairs there, Steve. And no. But generally, I don't want you to trade a lot of stuff. Anyway, this one's going to catch a different type of fish, but you don't need to, put it out, put it on 30 different currency pairs. Do you have auto management? Yes, it does. It auto manages the trade fully, 1,000%. Everything. It's going to do everything for you. You can just look at it and brag to your friends about how much money you made. You know, that's what's going to happen there. And I got plenty of those guys in this room right now. And that's fine because you made the right decision. You came and you bought the right thing. And that's how it works. Okay, so here's a question. When does this offer end? Well, you know what? We had so many people tried to get into this session that we actually filled up the room and we were not able to get everyone in it. So we're going to have a replay of the session. And the link, obviously, the session is going to, so we're going to replay it and at least give other people the opportunity to get in, the ones that missed it, because, honestly, we didn't expect to fill out the room like we did. If I'm not in the power hour, do you still inform us when the pair shouldn't be traded or parameters change when changes occur? Is there a record of all changes? You know what? We send out an email. You'll hear it in the power hour. The power hour is actually recorded. So there are records of everything we do, either by email or by, certainly by the recorded power hour sessions that you will be able to take a look at yourself.
Well, and I think one thing you might have, that I didn't catch that you said was, you even get messages on the screen. So if you're trading a strategy and that strategy is out of date, you'll get a message come right up on your screen telling you that you need to go to the download screen and download the latest and greatest.
That's a good point. Yeah, we actually send you messages right on the screen, and we have control via our back office. Okay, so we have a back office area where we can actually, go in there and make, fix your software sometimes and do things like that. We can also send you messages. We can send you messages, and in general, we say, hey, are you trading? We just put out a new version of the software, please. So if you even look at your software like you're supposed to once a day, you will, in some way or another, get a message. So we'll send a message by email. We'll send a message by power hour. We will send a message via the EA itself. And, of course, there are smoke signals, but, we haven't tried that method out yet. But if necessary, that's what we'll do. We'll do whatever it takes. So you've got multiple ways to get those signals out, to get, the upgrades and whatever kind of announcement that we're supposed to make. We absolutely put it out there to you. Like I said, I'm trying to make this a no-brainer across the board. That's our system. We believe in making it, as close to the real deal, as close to a no-brainer. We try to take all the risk out of it, or all the mistakes that you can make. We take away the risk. What's the cost? I missed the previous slide. The cost is, if you go to the website there, it's www.myfxedge.com. The cost is $7.99 flat out for the software if you buy it, and it's usually $9.99. You know that. Everyone knows that. If you've bought anything from us in the past, you know that our stuff is $9.99. But we are offering it special to our list for $7.99 today. It will be a one-shot only deal. It will never come back again like this. Okay. And then we also offer 2 easy payments, $429, or we offer 3 easy payments of $289. So you have multiple choices here. There's no reason for you to say no. And of course, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee if this thing does not make money. That's the way it works. Is the Rev Candle part of the FxEdge hybrid? Yeah, the hybrid is the Rev Candle and the IBO Rev are actually 2 different things. Hi Marcello, I'm in. Awesome. Glad to have you join up on this thing, guys. I'll make sure that you're taken care of. That's the truth. And you know that. All the guys who've got the IBO, who've bought my stuff in the past, they know that when I say something, when I say get something, get it. It's the real deal. It's going to, I have complete faith in it. Okay. Cannot see where to buy it. I'm actually going to post another link here at the bottom for you. And so, you can, there you've got it there, David. Do you put the IBO Rev on the same chart as the IBO, or to open a new chart? Yeah, you just open a new chart and you just stick it in there. It's just that simple. So instead of 1 chart open, you'll have 2. And you guys, I want you to keep that separately. Everybody should know it. If you've traded with me for a while, you should know that I always say have a trading platform. That platform is just for trading. You don't do any of your analysis. You're not, rifling through different time frames or currency pairs on that one, or sticking trend lines on it or anything like that. You got to be very careful. So I want you to have your trading platform, and I want you to have your analysis platform, and it's just going to be used for analysis. Okay, that's one of the tricks to EA trading that people really mess up on sometimes. Can I use this in conjunction with the WW? Absolutely. I don't, the WW is just so, it's such a good trade for everything, and I think this is a great trade to go with the WW. Absolutely.
So this will allow you to potentially make money the other however many 100 hours there are in a week, other than the hour or two on Sunday.
Right, exactly. So I'd say the WW is very, very safe. It's very, very safe with this particular trade. Good point. Thanks, Marcello and Scott. Thanks for the chance to get on board with this new strategy. I'm there and look forward to a profitable year ahead. Keep up the great work, and I appreciate what you guys have given us. And I'm finally winning in the FX market. Man, thank you very much for saying that. That definitely makes it worth it. Thank you very much for sharing that here. Okay.
Yeah. I overstated it. There's really only 120 hours that you can make money, so 118 other hours other than the Sunday.
Yeah,
so
because
don't miss out on those 100, and you can still trade the IBO Rev during those 2 hours. So I mean, it's 118 more hours of making money.
It's a good point.
Yeah, I was thinking it's too late. Scott's getting punchy.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to shut this room down in a second. No, really, he's right. I mean, the Weekend Warrior is a 2-hour trade, obviously, on Sundays, but the other, this trade works all week long, and it's very selective with its trades. It's just a great trade. Do you have your computer on? Do you have to have your computer on all the time for it to work? Rob, yes, you do. But you can also get a VPS, okay? A VPS is also a good bet if you don't want to leave your computer on all the time. VPS, yeah. Okay. Yeah, you can get a VPS, a virtual private server, that will run for you, and you can just set it up and let it run without ever worrying about it. You can log in and check your account that way. That's always a good idea, and it's actually reasonably priced as well. Is the power hour recorded as I am sleeping during that time? You know what, Tom? I'm currently in France right now, and I should be sleeping too when I'm doing the power hour. Yes, it is recorded. It is recorded. Do you help with choosing the correct currency pairs to use and which are failing and should not be traded? Steve, if you just run my trade plan or what I recommend, you should be fine. Really, I say run my trade plan. With everyone, I tell them just do what I'm doing, and those who have done it, like the guys that you've seen, the accounts that we've looked at, they obviously have profited significantly in their trading, and you definitely want to be on board there to do that. So yeah, definitely, we definitely help with that. That's one of the reasons that we have the trade plan. I try to make this a no-brainer. It's not like, I've seen some robots and they give you the robots and then they're like, okay, tweak the settings. I'm like, what? Tweak the settings? I mean, great. I want you guys to be able to do it, but I'm going to give you the settings that are going to make you money now. You can do whatever you want to do later on after you become proficient. But in the meantime, because my name is on that robot, because, I want you to profit, and I'm not giving it to you so you mess it up and blame it on me. I want you to do exactly what I'm doing. If you do that, then you've got a better chance of success, obviously. My IBO still says upgrade to version 257. Okay, I've got to check on that. Maybe that's an issue. So if you've got version 259, then you should be good to go. Can the EA be put on more than one account? Absolutely, Ron. Not a problem. It's your robot. But what we do is we do limit it to limit it by computers because people like to they like to obviously give the software away, and if you paid good money for the software, we have to do much better at protecting our clients' interests and protecting our interests as well. Awesome. Okay, Marcello, I'm in. Awesome, Ted. Good to have you on board. Trevor's got something to say. He says, Marcello, I now delete all emails from everyone else except FxEdge without even opening them. These EAs are all I need. That's great. I love that one. Actually, I want to I want you to send that one to info@myfxedge so we can put that on the website. That's just classic. Okay, I'm up and running. Amazing for me. Awesome, John. Calling internet open, Earl. Yeah, you obviously didn't have internet for that little bit of time. It should be ready to go. If not, send a message to info@myfxedge.com, and then we'll get you set up. We'll make sure that we deal with your troubleshooting. Not a problem. It appears my IBO runs better on this broker, Forex.com, than FXDD, although both are making good money. What do you suggest? Tom, if you're making money, there's nothing to talk about. You're doing the right thing. If it's working, then it's working well for you. That's good to know. Keep track of it. Let us know how it's going. But definitely, I don't think that they're a GMT plus 3 broker at this juncture. Now, there's GMT plus 2 and GMT plus 3. In general, we're a GMT plus 2 broker until the time change. Then we become GMT plus 3. Okay. Daryl, I'm in 2. Do you have traders from Asia? Yeah, we do have traders from Asia. I'm writing you from Singapore. Awesome. All right, great. Great to have you on board. Look forward to getting some guys. Really keep your accounts. Make sure that you have, even if you're demo trading, and this is what you should be doing in the beginning. You've got to demo trade in the beginning because you're going to make mistakes. You're going to make mistakes in your accounts. Because as a EA trader, you're going to get used. You got to get used to it. And make sure that you've got the proper setup, which is why I recommend a demo. The robot, when you've got it working and you've executed it properly, it's going to work. The problem is with us. We're the moving parts. And so you've got to get on board. You've got to fix yourself and get used to it, get in a rhythm for trading this thing. And also, guys, some of you have bad habits for trading, which you can still transmit to the robot. So you've got to robot trading, to this type of trading. So you got to get used to them. Like putting 50 different currency pairs on, trading 50 different currency pairs on. You don't need it. When I tell you, you buy something new, just focus on one thing so that you can know and become intimate with it, with the currency pair, number one, and number two, with the robot, how it works on that currency pair, and then you can expand out. That's really the breakthrough that I had in my trading, was that I didn't trade 50 different things. I didn't trade all 8 majors and then some of the crosses. I didn't do that. At first I did, and that was a big mistake. And then when I finally just got down to it and started focusing on one currency pair first, became a master of that currency pair, I am a euro-dollar trader. I'm very good at trading the euro-dollar. And then I went on to the pound-dollar, and then I went on to the yen pairs. I became masters of each one first. And that's what I want you to do with this, because who cares if you've got a lot of things on? Don't become a jack of all trades, literally. Become a master of one trade is what I want you to do in the beginning. And then I know that that's going to be the secret. And I talk about it all the time. Someone's going to listen to me. Those people who have listened to me have done well. What size account do you recommend? It really depends. If you're trading a micro account, which I recommend, I like micros. I don't like standards, and I don't like minis. I like micro accounts. I don't care how big you go. To a certain degree. Most of our traders trade live anywhere from a couple $1,000, $3,000, $2,000 to any, in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. So with the traders that we have there, I still recommend in that range micro accounts. So if you're trading a micro account, I'd like to see it about $5,000 to make sure that the risk management works out, so that if you say, hey, I'd like to trade 5%, that it's actually giving you 5%. In 2%, it's actually giving you 2%, and 1% is actually giving you 1%. You can also trade at $2,000 or $3,000. We actually showed a account going from $3,000 to $6,000 in two months recently in one of our sessions, our Power Hour sessions. And this is a live account from one of our guys. Mark, I don't know if he's here right now, but he definitely was able to do that and drastically increase the amount in his account now because he's obviously made his quota. He's done what he said he was going to do. He's made his more than 20+%, and now he's ready to go bigger. And that's one of the things that we have on our trade plan. Okay? What time frame do you use on it? It can use the just about any time frame, but we recommend it on the 4-hour and the daily chart, especially as you begin, and then you can go on to something else. What broker did the trader say was working besides FxDD? He was using Forex.com. That's what he was using. It's not my recommendation. I repeat, it is not my recommendation. This is what another trader is saying is working well. And, Tom, keep us abreast of the situation. Let us know if it continues to do well for you on that. Okay? And I'm not saying that we don't expect it to do well, but we definitely can only, we've very, very, very much tested, a 5 p.m. close. And so that's why, that's why we can talk about that. Okay. Guys, do I have any other questions? I know I skipped over a bunch of questions. I know I answered a lot. I think I might have answered about 100 questions. There's probably more there for us. Do we help you? Yes, we do. Yes, congratulations. Thanks for being a part of this. Yes, thank you for being a part of this. Yep, it's automated. So I think I've gone through a good number of questions. Guys, if you have any more questions, as I imagine that you will, then you can simply send a message to info@myfxedge.com. We will ask you, we will answer any questions that you may have for us as far as that's concerned. Get in this trade. I believe in it. We've been talking about it. It's not a fly-by-night trade. We didn't just come up with it in the last 2 months, or last week or whatever some of these guys do. This is something that we gave to you last year, but you're not going to have the same results because the bottom line is you have to be able to trade it every single time to get the probability, get the benefit of probability. You've got to take every single trade, and so that's why a robot is going to help us do that, and something that we just don't have the capability. People have to sleep. People have to eat. People have to have a social life. They have to spend time with their families. They've got to do all these other things. And that's why we use the robots. That's why I use the robots. Honestly, I didn't need any of that. I didn't need a social life. I didn't need anything. Every now and then I needed an occasional nap. But even doing that, guys, I still missed some trades in the beginning, trading it manually, trading a working system manually. And there were trades that I just kicked myself for because I was like, I missed out on all that money, and that's why we have the automation today and the automation that I can share with you now. Okay? Okay, guys, www.myfxedge.com/rev/. Okay? Marcello and Scott, thanks for making this new strategy available. I appreciate you making it affordable too. You guys are doing a great job to help other traders become profitable. Thanks for your excellence and hard work. I know you'll appreciate that, Scott.
Yeah, hey, thanks very much. I do.
Yeah, I really appreciate that, Pete. Thank you very much. You know, we work very, very hard. We were going to work hard anyway for, you know, for our own accounts, for our own clients, for our own selves. And, you know, we're glad to work hard for you as well and to be able to offer to you. And those types of comments are what makes this, you know, really makes it worth it because, you know, you got to employ a serious staff to do technical support, to do the customer service, to do everything that we do. To make this thing work for you consistently, especially the newbie who first comes in and is making mistakes. We've got to kind of figure out how to make it work for that guy. So, you know, we really do appreciate these great comments. Thanks, Marcello and Scott. Look forward to having 2011 be a great trading year in Forex. Look forward to your help to accomplish this. Absolutely. That's what we're here for. That's what we've been doing. Stay on board, commit to the process, and you know, we'll see you through. Okay, guys, if I've got no other questions, what I'm going to do is go to myfxedge.com/rev/. I look forward to seeing all of you who have joined this in the Power Hour starting tomorrow. We'll be in the Power Hour, and then I look forward to seeing you guys in the follow-up session for the IBO Rev to make sure that you've gotten it all set up properly, and to make sure that you know, we've got all the right settings and you're doing all the right things and you know how the strategy works. So we will be talking very, very soon. Guys, another thing is, for those of you who don't know how this works, I'm a hand holder. So that means that I'm not letting you know, you're not going to get this and never hear from me again. You're actually going to hear from me too much, because you're going to hear from me at least 4 days a week, Monday through Thursday for the entire month, and you're also going to get me for your IBO Rev follow-up webinar that we're going to put on, and you're going to also hear from my team, who does an amazing job at getting back to people and staying with them. We are not leaving you. We're not leaving you hanging. This is not a robot that we just go about our business and don't take care of you with. We take care of you, and that's what we do. So this doesn't happen by accident. You don't have clients who step up to the plate and say, man, you know, Marcello and Scott are putting out something new again. Are you kidding me? I'm in, you know, unless you're doing a great job, you know, unless you're doing this thing properly. And so that's what, it doesn't happen by accident. Just like trading doesn't happen by accident. I can tell you for sure that Scott, there have been very many nights where Scott has not slept and where I have not slept, because we've been working on strategies, you know, and also the entire team that we have of 10 people who, you know, who do this, not to mention the programmers that we basically have. We've got some of the best programmers there are in the business who work with us. Believe me on that, because it's absolutely true. And it's not just for you, it's for us as well, you know, because this is real. This is not a game. This is the real deal. You got anything else to say, Scott, before I let you go? Thanks for sticking around. I know that, you know, I know you've got stuff to do.
Hey, no, yeah, no, that's no problem. Yeah, I do. Hey, I said it earlier, but I repeat it. Everybody, I want them to check out everybody that got in tonight, you know, check it out. Be watching this IBO over the next day or two. See if we get a nice IBO Rev set up. So that's it.
Great.
I think it might show you the money.
Might show you the money.
And it might not. It might not. But
you never know.
You never know. But yeah, that's the only what I was going to leave you with is, hey, if you do get in, then check it out and see what happens. So
put it on the chart. It's going to do it itself. You don't have to do anything else. Is the bottom line. Tom's got a quick question. Where is the download on the site? Simply log in. Then there's going to be I believe it's a download manager. Actually, let me go there right now to our website. I can tell you where it is. And it's in a download section. It's called My Downloads in general.
Yeah, My Downloads. Yeah.
So if you go to the website, you plug in your login, okay, which you should. I mean, I know you have it, Tom, but you can. It's definitely in the My Download section. If you don't see it there, guys, just send a message to info@myfxedge.com and they can direct you to the right place. make sure that you're taken care of ASAP. All right. And with that, guys, we're out of here. We will be talking to you. I'll see you guys tomorrow in the Power Hour, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you can't make it then we will have the recordings, and you will be able to get to those recordings thereafter. Many of our clients can't make it at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. They can watch them later, and they do watch them later because I give tidbits about what's going on in the market. Basically I do a market analysis, I do a strategy analysis, talk about where our strategies are, how they're performing, what trades we have coming up, that sort of thing. I also do a little bit of a teaching on a subject, whether it's about special indicators, a new strategy, something that you haven't seen before or you may have seen before, reinforcing good things. We talk about a lot of different things, money management, all sorts of stuff. And of course, we have a questions and answer session, and I make sure that everyone can answer whatever questions I deal with, whatever questions they may have. So all that, you will see me in the Power Hour if you joined on with us today. Okay? Tom, send a message to info@myfxedge.com, and they will take care of you. It definitely is in the My Download section. It is ready for you. There are people who have already installed it. Okay, so send a message, they can point you in the right direction. Guys, with that, thanks for your time, and have a good night. I look forward to talking to you guys soon. All the best.
Have a good night.